The idea of firing Gary Gensler is picking up steam, and I've got big news to share with you regarding billions of new investments, along with a press release to confirm this.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
And happy Sunday to you fine guys and gals. But before we get to the news, it's viewers' comments come first. Drop me some hot, some spicy. Maybe I'll share it. Peter Guzanier says, after yesterday's speech, my bet is no settlement. Brad is going to push it off until after the election, figuring Trump will have all the SEC attacks dropped. By the way, my Mariners, your Sox going at it again tonight. Balls, balls, balls. Oh, dude, the Sox suck, man. Like, 52 games under 500, worst team ever in history. Put it into perspective for you. Think of whatever sport that you love, okay? I want you to think of your sport being over 130 years worth of that history. Thousands and thousands of teams, okay? And the season you're watching of your favorite team right now is the statistical worst team in history. Come on. Johnny Appleseed says, socialized lost, a.k.a. communism. Fuck no. Good point on that. Yeah, so what happened was there was an exchange out there that lost $235 million. It was Wazir X, okay? That exchange was like, look, I know not everyone's stuff was taken, but we're going to kind of socialize all the losses, and we're all going to take the loss on this. So people's stuff was locked up. I think it was 45% of their stuff was locked up. Even if their stuff wasn't stolen, 45% of their stuff was locked up to help people whose stuff was stolen. That's fucked up. RFK says Bitcoin is vital to the dollar stability, calls for 4 million BTC reserve, wants it similar to be like the gold reserve that the United States has. By the way, gold has about 5% of its, quote, wealth in gold right now. So I'm bringing these stories up, and then we're going to look at a heat map at the end. Again, the heat map is going to look different. It's going to look hotter. It's going to tell a story, okay? We're also going to talk about Gary Gensler and how just the notion of him getting fired is increasing, along with him being a political liability, which means he could get fired by his own side earlier. Because if they see that they're losing votes because of GG, there might be some problems. So RFK is saying, look, we need to hold some BTC just like we hold some gold. Okay. Cantor Fitzgerald CEO unveils a $2 billion Bitcoin financing initiative. The finance giant will begin with an initial $2 billion in financing and has plans for substantial growth in the near future. The new initiative will provide leverage to investors who hold leading cryptocurrency with the firm. We're excited to help unlock Bitcoin's full potential and continue bridging the gap between traditional finance and digital assets. To kick this off, we're going to pick this for selected Bitcoin custodians. Here's their press release, and as always, any article you see in this video, along with all my other videos, will be linked in the description below. Happy Sunday, by the way. Like, for real, like, I hope you're having a really good Sunday. I really enjoy doing this stuff. I really enjoy bringing the news to you. I look at it as, like, your personal crypto news aggregator. So, thank you for watching, by the way. So, we got Cantor Fitzgerald ready to dump some billies. All right, now let's get into Trumpito. No, I'm not putting my email in there. Trumpito is like, look, on day one, I will fire Gary Gensler. When he said that, a huge applause happened. He also said, if I'm elected, it will be policy of my administration to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin and the U.S. government currently holds or acquires. For too long, our government has violated the cardinal rule that every Bitcoiner knows by heart, never sell your BTC. So Trump is saying he wants to be a hodler. Makes me wonder if Trump's got some friends in high places that have a lot of BTC and they're like, my guy, could you add to that pressure? So you notice there's a lot of oomph regarding BTC this weekend. It's also the BTC conference in Nashville. All right. The talks to fire Gary Gensler from Trump, that totally makes sense because he would get to appoint his own SEC guy. So, of course, on day one, most likely Gary would probably resign before that happens because he would know it's coming, right? It would just be like, you know, a pleasantry. But like with Gary here, you got to look at it this way, too. If the crypto vote ends up statistically showing up more and more and more as a bigger force, even the Democrats are going to look at Gary Gensler and say, dude, you're kind of to blame for this. We need a scapegoat. So you've got leverage on both sides of the whole fire Gary Gensler thing, really building up some steam. And I think that's a good thing. Now, obviously, the odds of it very slim because we've seen there's been a lot of protection for Gary. He's got a lot of protection in the House. He's a lot of protection in the Senate. And you've already seen, too, that when Biden was in office, he vetoed that bill, which would have taken some of the special accounting bulletin power away from SCB 121, taken some of the power away from the SEC. So there's like a big layered component here. Okay, so all that news going on. Oh, look at this. This is a funky looking heat map, ain't it? Yeah, this is kind of crazy. Okay, so this is a year-to-date action right here, and check this out. Bitcoin, the biggest pumper up on the screen. Isn't that nuts? But is it really nuts, though? When you got more and more people calling for adoption, more and more people calling for Bitcoin reserves, more and more companies dumping billions and billions and billions into BTC. The BTC ETFs were pretty much just the start of it, right? When it comes to traditional finance. Now you can find other ways for companies to leverage these products and leverage these opportunities now that the initial launches have happened, and they've been quite successful. BlackRock has had tens of billions. God, what were they? Like 18 billion, 15 billion last time I checked? And that was a while ago. I haven't paid much attention to it. But they... billions and billions and billions. So there's money there. You know, Trump is like, yo, look, we got to buy more BTC. We got to buy and hodl. So there's a lot of pro BTC news, but of course, BTC for the year has been pumping. The ETFs have been their biggest things. So it's hard to ignore the power and strength of BTC in the year of 2024. I bring that up to share with you both the good news, the bad news. Whether you're an alt fan, a BTC maxi or not, I bring you the news. What's important to see, though, is there were other things on that heat map that were green, but for the majority of things, it was not nowhere near as juicy as BTC has been. Now, it makes sense, right? The ETFs just had tons and tons of money flow into it. ETH ETFs, okay, there's some money flowing into it. As per usual, you know, Grayscale is seeing the outflows on their conversion product. It's just the fees are just too expensive, right? So people are just cashing out on that. And you're seeing other players pick up the steam. I'm interested in this whole Gary Gensler as a political liability, along with Gary Gensler getting rid of by Trumpito on day one. It's obvious he would appoint his own person. Obviously someone who's probably pro-crypto and probably a bit more government get out of our business, which I think a lot of us would actually like. Let me know what your thoughts are, though. Is this whole like BTC weekend thing just going to be a big pump and then just a dump? Because what are we looking at? The price for BTC over this weekend has still been kind of similar, right? But over this last year, it's been juicy. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Well, the news already happened with the ETFs, but I want to hear from you. Let me know what your thoughts are on how much steam BTC has. Will we see new ATHs, or is this just going to be a pump and a dump, or a 0-calorie nothing burger? Choo-choo, bitches.